Hello Capricorn, welcome to your December 2018 general horoscope reading. Here we go, shuffling away with the tarot. So Capricorn, drop me a comment below. Just let me know how you're feeling. What new goals and ambitions do you have cooking for the new year? I can't believe it's December already. You know, we're wrapping up the year. And how do you feel about your accomplishments this year? Because I'm almost certain you have something to be proud of. So I know you Capricorns, you always have some sort of ambition, new height that you are working towards. So woohoo! You get that opportunity. And especially this month, and you know, the south node of the moon is in your sign now, Capricorn. So woohoo, you are undergoing some major transformations, especially this next year and a half, really. So wow. But Capricorn, let's go ahead, let's get started with the astrology while I'm shuffling. First day I want you to look out for is December 6th. So Mercury moves direct, which is beautiful. It's been retrograde, and during this retrograde period and at the beginning of the month, you know, still it's in Sagittarius. So it's really asking a lot of us to reevaluate any mental activities, thinking patterns that have been really excessive for us, that have maybe caused anxiety and depression. Because that's the dark side of Sagittarius, is doing things excessively. And it's specifically about those communicative and mental patterns. So, you know, maybe ask yourself that and see if you can't get some resolvement here as Mercury moves direct on this day. And then, you know, the other side of this, you know, with Mercury moving direct, you know, you're much more able to sign new contracts if you've been waiting for any kind of paperwork to be wrapped up, or contracts with your home, new job, anything like that. You know, those delays wrap up, things move more smoothly, short distance travel is a lot more plausible during this time as well. And, you know, just that internalization is wrapping up with Mercury moving direct. And it's about your big picture goals with that Sagittarian energy as well. Big picture. Where are you wanting to expand next, Capricorn? And this also really affects the new moon, which is on December 7th. So next day you want to watch out for is then, and the moon is conjuncting the sun on this Sagittarius new moon as well, which is just so beautifully positive and inspirational. You know, this new moon, woohoo! First card out, 10 of Swords. This new moon is filled, and is going to be filling us, Capricorn, with such optimism. Optimism for the future. New adventures you can see really start to take off with this new moon and during the waxing phase here. New studies, new, you know, you might think about taking another course, going to college, going to school, something of that sort. Creative insights are really flowing in on this day as well, especially with the moon conjuncting the sun. And I wrote down a question with this new moon, because a lot of us might be really asking ourselves, where have we been bored with routine? Where have you been bored and stuck in routine too much, Capricorn? Where do you need to push in some new experiences, some new adventures? That's what this new moon is trying to do for you. So let those come. Let those come, because they're going to give you the next step. They're going to give you the next adventure. They're going to give you just the next best thing. Be open to the unfamiliar and new experiences with this moon. Then December 21st, guess what? We move into your season, Capricorn. Sun moves into your sign, and it's the winter solstice. Okay, power day. Power day. And for okay, I just had like a mess of cards fall out. That was totally my bad, so I'm going to keep shuffling here. So, it is really your day, Capricorn. And, you know, as always with the solstice, it's about, metaphorically, but practically as well, you know, it's the longest night of the year. And so it's about honoring the darkness and then the rebirth of the sun. And so, you know, that of course has to do with, you know, our crops, our food coming back, you know, being able to produce again and all that stuff. But it's also about the mental and emotional side of it, you know. Where are your faults and dark sort of patterns? Do you embrace them? Are you aware of where you need to temper them? And what sort of rebirth is going on with you on this day? You might experience some beginnings and endings with this day. Happens a lot. So, you know, it's going to be really intriguing energy. And going into your season, Capricorn, woohoo! It's game on. Now, December 22nd, the following day, is the next aspect to watch out for. So we have the Cancer full moon. It's your polar opposite, Capricorn. So, my goodness, this Cancer full moon, it feels at home. You know, matters are being brought to affairs of the home, your comfort spaces, your sensitivity, your emotions are going to be really up there, heightened with this energy. You know, the Cancer full moon is going to be asking you, Capricorn, as difficult as it can be for you, you know, you earth signs especially tend to be a lot more guarded and locked up with your emotions. And that's okay. That's why we have these energies, to help you sort of be a bit more vulnerable. So you're going to be really encouraged to share more of your feelings, your vulnerable sort of space with others, with especially your intimate partnerships. The partnerships that you have going on, because the Cancer full moon, Cancer in general, Capricorn, affects your 7th house of relationships. So some of you could see some love coming in around this time, or someone to really sort of challenge your perspective or show you a new perspective on love, on partnership. So pay heed to those messages coming through. You know, it's really always exciting when it hits that area. So, yeah. Oh, one more thing with this full moon, the Cancer full moon. It's really pointing out or making us ask, where are we, next card, where are we being too needy? You know, are you being too needy in a specific area of your relationships when it comes to your emotional needs, your romantic needs, your sensual needs, whatever it is, even in business partnerships? That is going to be coming up too. What it is you're being too needy in. Because that's kind of more the shadow side of Cancerian energy. But yeah, overall, gosh, it's such a beautiful, beautiful full moon. Woo! Making a mess with your cards. We're waiting on one more, Capricorn. All right, last day to watch out for astrologically is the 31st. Mars enters Aries. Okay, so this is a natural placement for Mars. Mars rules Aries, so you're going to have like the surge of energy going into the new year. And it's going to be a surge of physical energy, man. You are going to be feeling super active, able to just get it done, to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. I mean, you're just going to be left and right. And, you know, with this energy, sometimes it can be a little overstimulating. So, you know, just make sure that you are just finding a way to channel that energy, because you will just be infused with that activity and energized behavior. So if you're not working on anything new at this time, maybe think about going on a run, doing some yoga, some sort of physical activity that keeps you from building that energy up and then releasing it the wrong way. Okay, so that's what we have going on in the stars. Here we go. I'm going to show you the cards that have popped out for you, Capricorn. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get an oracle message for you as well. A little sneak peek into 2019, Capricorn. What your 2019 may have in store for you. The focal point. Oh, wow. Okay, yours just like popped out. All right. Okay, right off the bat, Capricorn, what is showing up for you here with the Ten of Swords and the Eight of Wands? I'm getting the message here. There's a lot of, you might just be feeling mentally sort of exhausted, mentally tired. You know, have you been thinking too much on something, on a situation, on someone? Because, you know, especially the Ten of Swords here, you know, it speaks of just burnout and exhaustion. And so I'm getting here, especially at the beginning of the month, while we have especially Mercury moving direct, you know, don't necessarily try to force any ideas or implement any new plans. Specifically for you, there is a message here of rest, because there's mental exhaustion going on. And burnout energy is real. Sometimes we just kind of throw it out there like, oh yeah, don't get burnt out, you know. And we're like, oh, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But no, you know, I've actually learned myself that if you ignore that, it really can affect your health and even affect the flow of inspiration, plans, strategies, you know, that you want to do, that you want to put in place. So just make sure you're taking time to rest, especially at the beginning here, Capricorn. You have, and you know, with that resting energy, with that Eight of Wands showing up here, I'm getting, this is like the how-to really in overcoming this Ten of Swords. And so I'm getting that it's about giving yourself the time to allow the new messages and inspirations to come in. So giving yourself the time, whether that is doing yoga, meditating, being in a hot bath, listening to some music, you know, drinking a nice cocktail, beverage of some sort, hot tea, whatever, and just allowing yourself to relax. You know, some of this is going on with your fellow earth signs like Taurus. You know, if you're dealing with a Taurus, you might watch their video as well. But this is doing that kind of activity is going to allow you to receive in all these wonderful messages that are trying to come in. You know, the next strategic thing to do, the next leap, the next answer when it comes to your business or your relationship, your project. So I'm also getting, for some of you Capricorns, I know this is kind of opposite what I just told you, but for some of you Capricorns, this is in order to get out of that mental sort of exhausted headspace. It's because some of you Capricorns have been resisting, and that's why the Ten of Swords is showing up. You've been resisting something where you've been like beating at a wall, and instead of just finding a different path, going around the wall, you just keep beating at the wall, hoping that the wall will move or that it'll crumble, you know, so you can go on that same path. So what I'm getting here is, you know, go on a different path. For some of you, I'm getting, if you just sort of get back up again, like this new surge of energy coming in with the Eight of Wands. And it's the Eight of Wands is coming across really inspiring, with some kind of inspiring messages for you Capricorn. So it might be really close to either the Sagittarius energy or between Sagittarius and the Cancer full moon, where this is really going to inspire you to kind of get back up. I'm getting that the Eight of Wands is saying, you know, if you want to break yourself out of that self-limiting sort of idea and belief that you have to go this direction, you're just going to have to get yourself back up, pick up the energy like the Eight of Wands here, and just throw yourself back out there, but on a different path this time. Different direction. Don't keep going the same way, because that causes resistance and it's causing you to be mentally exhausted. So just give yourself a break, Capricorn, and allow yourself to see things in a different way, or to just walk around, move around, do it in a different, with a different method. Okay? And now, so up next here, you have Temperance going on. So I'm getting here with Temperance in this area. There's definitely some stirring. Your emotions are really being stirred this month. There's some sort of passionate stir that is coming to the surface for a lot of you Capricorns. And, you know, with Temperance, the Temperance angel here, I'm getting here that you're emotionally, like, really feeling the inspiration. There's like this beautiful inspiration that's coming to the surface, especially once you change direction, like we just talked about, and you sort of break yourself out of that mental limiting exhaustion sort of state. So it's like Temperance comes in here. I'm getting to just help balance things out. And especially emotionally, there's something here going on with, some of you could be dealing with a Sagittarius. And so you might find yourself connecting in some form of fashion, whether it's, you know, a boss, whether it's a coworker or other relationship. A Sag is coming in here to kind of just give you that lift, lifting your spirits. It's really quite beautiful. And it's like a lot of you Capricorns are really wanting to put your feelings into something. And you're creating, because you have the Page of Pentacles right next to Temperance. So whatever it is that you're feeling so strongly here, and whoever or whatever is coming in here to really inspire you to be the creator this month in December, You're being asked with the Page of Pentacles showing up in the how-to spot to put it into action. So that means writing it down. That means creating a model, creating a blueprint, creating a art piece if you're an artist, composing a song, or putting that business strategy on paper, making a PowerPoint, whatever it is that creates it and makes it into like a tangible visual sort of thing. Okay, that is really showing up beneficial for you, Capricorn. So really putting it into action here. So whatever it is that you are feeling so strongly and feeling so optimistic and lit up about here in December, take the first steps. Page of Pentacles is about first steps. It's a novice, beginner. So start putting it out. Start creating it. All right, and so down here, we have the Three of Swords. So Capricorn, some of you around that Cancer full moon are going to feel really uncomfortable, I'm getting, with being asked to get emotionally vulnerable and get really vulnerable with your heart's desires, especially when it comes to intimacy and partnership. And intimacy and partnership in the home for you. You're really being asked to look at your safe space, domestic life, and some of you are really, with that energy, lighting up that area of your life, of your chart, Capricorn. Some of it's, like I said, it's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to face some things here with your domestic life and intimate relationships that really need some healing. Some of you might be kind of re-experiencing a little bit of heartbreak, or an ex even, for example, coming back in to kind of just bring up those feelings again from the past. You might... you just might see something in the city on a drive that just kind of jolts your memory back to some old love affair, or something about your heart and your heart's, how you have let your heart be, or how you have rather locked up your heart or try to keep your heart guarded. That kind of stuff is coming up, and it might be a little emotional. So you just might be feeling a little extra emotional, maybe a little bit sad, but it's not anything that's going to last forever. You have the Star showing up next here. So this is the how-to. Okay. The Star here, Capricorn. I'm getting here. It's about seeing things. Someone is coming in here for a lot of you Capricorns. Could be an Aquarius. But someone is coming in here to help you see things from a more of a practical, rational point of view. So, they're kind of helping you get out of this emotional, feely-feel sort of state that has you feeling a little down. And it could just be an experience, or with that full moon, something just lights up in you, or you go to counseling, or you journal it, you put it on paper, or you just go out on a walk or something like that, and then it hits you. The solution hits you. The Star to me is solution coming in, and a real rational sort of solution. And this is, the Star is speaking of, it's bringing up your hopes and your fears that are surrounding this heart healing, or this heartbreak that is coming back to kind of taunt you. The Star is bringing in some healing and bringing up those hopes and those fears. It's regenerating, Capricorn. I'm getting the Stars really regenerating especially your hope and your desire for love. And what sort of rational, practical steps you can take in order to make that emotional desire and hope for your relationship life a reality. The star is giving you the reality. Also, you could read this as well as a little bit of a sort of reality check. Reality check when it comes to love and relationships and recent heartbreak that you've experienced. But it's healing. Capricorn, it's showing up as really healing for you. And this is what you want to see, so that you can move on to that next step in the relationship. Or if you're single, you can vibrate with, this attractive sort of a spirit again, where you feel confident and comfortable enough with putting your heart out there again. Asking that person out, or allowing yourself to be asked out, so you're more in a receptive mode. So that's beautiful. And, the only other thing I would just kind of advise some of you Capricorns here in December is, your season looks good. This is speaking of really moving into your season. And we'll discuss, of course, in January, which is ultimately your month, Capricorn, all the other blessings that show up. Because when the sun enters your sign, it's usually a lot of fortunate events. And the star is speaking of a lot of fortune and accomplishments coming to you. But it first starts with your heart, and there is something here saying to just watch out for your heart health, or being overly anxious, anxiety issues. That's the only thing I would say health-wise too, just to kind of be aware of this month. So this is not the most conventional thing to advise maybe, but have a glass of wine, red wine, because it's good for your heart and tempering your blood pressure. So that, and even salt baths, taking magnesium supplements, stuff like that, to just kind of help relax you in some ways. I'm getting here that some of you need a bit more relaxation, because there's a lot of stuff coming up here. Now for the year ahead, Capricorn, for 2019, we have embracing enthusiasm. Shout to the heavens with happiness. Wow. Okay, so 2019 is looking to be very filled with a lot of optimism for you. There are going to be a lot of pleasurable, happy sort of experiences to be had, especially when you aren't resisting so much. And when you do your heart's work, I'm getting here, Capricorn, when you do your heart's work, that happiness, that joy really can flow in for you in 2019 here. I'm also getting, with this card too, it's like asking you to count your blessings. And the more you count your blessings and all the wonderful things that you do have, all the positive things that you do have that many people don't have, when you do that, it invites in more blessings, more happiness, more happy experiences to be had. But there's definitely, with this Oracle card, there's definitely a lot of exciting, joyful experiences coming to you in 2019. So it's a really general sort of overview look, but there you have it. So Capricorn, that concludes here your December reading. So, thank you so much for joining me. I have some new content coming out. I'm going to be doing full moon fables for 2019. So subscribe here to my channel to just stay in the loop with that. And when those come out, I'm also going to be doing how-to monthly love challenges specific to love and intimate relationships. So those videos will be coming out in the new year as well. And if any of you want to do a personal reading with me, look at what's going on with you specifically or specific situation, hit me up on my Etsy shop. That link is below if you want to connect with me more. My Facebook and Instagram are in the descriptions box too. So, Capricorn, you have a wonderful month, and I will see you in the next video.